Here's something that oh my goodness, here's something that a lot of us struggle with. Sure, I know this struggle. I've been there as well, plenty of times. It's essentially the last exam. The last exam is maybe a few days away, maybe a week away. Maybe they've spaced it out. You do, but it's the last exam. It's coming up, but sure, there's no motivation to study. You're so tired from all the other exams. You just want to be done. You're already in that holiday mood, potentially. Maybe just catching up on a bit of series here and there. Maybe catching up with a few friends as well. You're mentally checking out. But how do you overcome last exam syndrome? This is a big one. So yeah, as I said, I know this all too well. And I think the key to overcoming this is what you're telling yourself in your mind. Because at the end of the day, the things that you communicate to yourself become deeply internalized and then drive your behavior. So the thoughts that are going through your mind, even if it's subconscious, which end up being conscious thoughts, then drive behavior, and that's what leads to the lack of motivation and all that. So if in your mind you're already telling yourself, it is what it is, whatever happens, I'm done with the exam, all that stuff, then your mind starts clocking out and it becomes reality. You end up checking out, you're done with exams, and you at times end up not performing as well for that last exam as you could have, even if it's an easier module or maybe it's a more challenging module. So the key to this is staying in the game until the very end. You have to, and I think this is something that I can advise on. I can give you guys this content, but this is something you have to do for yourself. You have to be the one pushing yourself and motivating yourself forward to get over the line. You can't see this thing as a race. You have to see it as a marathon. It's a long-term game, and essentially you're going to be studying until you get your degree. That's something that you have to come to terms with. And I get that we get tired. The semesters are long, the years are long, the quarters are long. It's tough, it's difficult. But if you can just, I think take a bit of a long-term approach and a long-term view of things. But if you can just within this 3-year period, 4, 5, 6 years, however long you're in university, just sacrifice and be consistent in the input that you put in, just studying. If you can see things that way, then in the long run, you're going to make, a much better life for yourself than you would have if you didn't have a degree. So, look at things through a long-term lens and then come back down to the present moment and know that in this last exam, I have to perform well so that I can get there in 3 years' time, in 4 years' time, in 6 years' time, however long, once again, you're there. You need to understand, deeply understand why you're doing what you're doing and what the end goal is. And then every single short-term struggle you have, you tie it back to that long-term vision. That, okay, look, things are tough now. It's the last exam. I'm so tired of studying. This and that. I just want to be on holiday. But that no, man, I have a long-term goal in order to finish my degree so that I can get a meaningful job and potentially give back to my family or whatever it is. So in order for me to do all that stuff, I have to pass this exam. I have to get through this exam. And, also just as another source of motivation, just use your previous assessments. You showed up for all your previous assessments in whatever way you did. You showed up, you wrote those assessments, even in this semester, even if you weren't consistent, but you were there, you showed up, you did what you can when you could as well. So you can't let this last exam mess everything up for you. You need to show up just as you did before in order to sort of make good of yourself, because you got yourself this far. Now you need to get yourself over the finish line. So I think it's a whole lot of that. It's a mental game, this, and it's something that I say a lot here, but it truly is a mental game in university. And the more you're able to psych yourself up and just get yourself in a positive zone mentally, the better you'll perform, the better your output, the more motivated you'll be. You need to drive that deeply in yourself. And it's not easy. It's not easy. You're not going to get it right the first time, second or third time. Trust me, it's a process in itself. That ability to mentally psych yourself up and give yourself that added motivation, however you do it, is something you also develop over time. So you need to see all these things as their own journeys. You can't try and be perfect and say, this is my last exam. I'm gonna, study every single day until I write the exam and I'm gonna be super effective. You can't say that, because if you have historic patterns of being inconsistent, especially in your last exams, you need to assess that for yourself. You need to understand that a habit has developed, and to undevelop that habit or to develop a new habit of consistently studying before the last exam takes time. So everything takes time. Every piece of transformation that you're gonna go through is gonna take time. You just need to be patient with yourself, but you need to consistently try again. There are gonna be moments of big progress you're making. There are going to be moments of sort of digression. You're going backwards, or you feel like you're going backwards. That's normal. Trust me. But it's in those moments where you feel like you're going backwards or you're not making progress where you really need to show up. Those are the most critical moments. And I think one of the most important moments are what you do before your last exam. So yeah, guys, just improve that mentality, work on it, see it as a muscle. You're training it every single day. It's like going to the gym. You go to the gym, you train your muscles, you try and get stronger. Now you're training your mind, you're trying to get stronger mentally to build that motivation. That's your goal. Your goal is not to be perfect, it's to get better. Take this, use it with you, see what difference it makes in a year's time, in 2 years' time, even a few months' time. You'll see the difference. But yeah, I hope this has been an impactful episode. Comment down below if you struggle with last exam syndrome. Let me know, and let me know how you deal with it as well. And of course, guys, as always, until the next one, let's continue on our journey in creating a better world.